Welcome to Inspire Thinking. Once again, I'm back with book synopsis, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. We have completed part 1, 3 chapters, and we are entered in part 2, third chapter. The third chapter of part 2 is, if you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. Before starting this chapter, I have a question to you. What is the most sweetest and most important word in any language? What do you say? You want to know it, right? Stay tuned, I will let you know what it is. As usual, Dale Carnegie has given many examples in this chapter. And the best example I would like to present is about Andrew Carnegie. Dale Carnegie has narrated about Andrew Carnegie. In 1920s, Andrew Carnegie used to call as a steel king. He used to call as a steel king. Why? Does he know everything about steel? No. Does he know everything about steel manufacturing? No. And people who are working under him knows everything about steel manufacturing, whatnot. They know everything. But Andrew Carnegie doesn't know anything about steel manufacturing or steel. He knows only one thing: how to deal with the people. Yes, when he was 10 years old, he has discovered an astounding thing. What it is? He has found out people will give most respect to their names itself. To illustrate, when he was a child, he used to have a rabbit. And this mother rabbit has given birth to small 2 rabbits. And he doesn't have any idea how to feed these rabbits. And he doesn't have anything to feed these 2 rabbits. Immediately what he did is, he called all the neighbor children, all people came to him. And Andrew Carnegie said, if you could feed these 2 rabbits, if you could get leaves and all these things to the rabbit and feed them, I will honor your names to these 2 rabbits. I will put your names to these 2 rabbits. And 2 people were so interested and they are jumping in joy, and they went out and got leaves and all these things, and they fed these 2 rabbits. As promised, Andrew Carnegie has given their names to these 2 rabbits. And the same principle, same technique he has used in his business to develop himself, to develop that steel manufacturer. For example, Andrew Carnegie, he wanted to sell steel rail to Pennsylvania Railroad. And no one was buying steel rail from him. At lastly, he found out Edgar Thomson was the president for this Railroad of Pennsylvania. And immediately he got an idea and he built a huge steel mill in Pittsburgh near a railroad. And he has given a name for that mill is Edgar Thomson Steel Works. And people started buying steel rails from that mill. And suddenly he was developed a lot. He has got very good name in the market. And George Pullman who was heading all these steel rail projects. He was really got angry. And one side Andrew Carnegie and the other side is Pullman. These people are battling each other for getting in the railroad sleeping car business. Sleeping car business was a huge business at that time. This was a huge project, I would say. And these people were battling themselves, they are buckling themselves, and they are reducing prices, they are slashing prices. If Andrew Carnegie reduces $10 for the project, he used to reduce $20. And if he reduced $20, he used to reduce $30. They are just buckling and slashing the prices with no profits. And at lastly, Union Pacific, these 2 people, Andrew Carnegie and Pullman, met in a hotel to see the directors of Union Pacific. In that hotel, Andrew F. Carnegie started conversation with Pullman, and Andrew F. Carnegie said, "Aren't we making ourselves fools by buckling and slashing the prices, reducing the prices, and ending with no profits? Aren't we fools?" And Pullman said, "What do you mean?" Andrew F. Carnegie explained what he has in his mind. He has explained to him what he has in his mind, that if we work together instead of working against each other, if we work together, these are the advantages, these are the benefits, all these things he has shown to the Pullman. And Pullman at lastly not convinced. Pullman asked a question to Andrew F. Carnegie. "Andrew F. Carnegie, what you are thinking about the company name? What name you want to give to the company?" And immediately, promptly, Andrew F. Carnegie replied to Pullman is Pullman Palace Car Company. Pullman Palace Car Company. This Pullman face was brightened and said, "Andrew F. Carnegie, please come to my room. We will discuss." And these people came to a conclusion by discussing in a meeting. And this meeting was an history in those days. This way, Andrew F. Carnegie used to convince people by giving names, and he used to remember so many names, 1,000, 10,000 names in his mind. And a lot of his company's branches are with the worker names itself. It is the beauty of Andrew F. Carnegie's story in this chapter. The most sweetest and the most important word in any language is your name. Yes, your name itself. This is the principle of this chapter. This is all about, if you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. Until then, Lakshmi Ma'am signing out. We'll meet again with next chapter.